Hello, everyone. So I love weeks like this because it's a week where I get to tell you everything is fine. Everything's groovy. Everything, more importantly, is direct, okay? We've got Mars direct. We've got Mercury direct. We've got Uranus direct. And you get a car and you get a car. We've got all of this forward momentum. And then to add something just so lovely on top of the Sunday of directness is that Pisces on Thursday is going to be moving into, did I say it that right? Venus is going to be moving into Pisces. Was that? Okay, you get it. So Venus is in its exaltation in Pisces, which basically means that Venus is really freaking happy here. She likes it. She chill here, and I think that wherever Pisces is in your chart, you'll have to go look that up for yourself, or you can contact me for a reading and I can tell you where Pisces is in your chart or where Venus is currently for you, which is going into Pisces on Thursday. It is this lovely, beautiful energy. It is, where can we have more fun? Where can we have more beauty, more art, more relaxation, more of the things that soothe us? I think of the signs that Venus rules, and that's Taurus, which is an earth energy, and that's Libra, which is an air energy, and they're different, and so the need of how we want to use our Venus is going to be different, right? When I think of a Taurus, I think of yummy food. I think of soft blankets. I think of touch. I think of sex. I think of our lovers. I think of, a yummy coffee date with a friend. I think of these things that bring comfort, security, and safety. When I think of an air Venus like Libra, I think of stimulating conversations. I think of going to art shows. I think of the opera. I think of music. I think of, watching a really great movie that inspires you. So, and then with Venus being in Pisces, it's this water vibe. So it's this opportunity to really bring in our senses, bring in the elements, and really enjoy the sensual. Enjoy the things that you don't always get to. Pisces is behind the veil. Oftentimes, Pisces can be, our intuition, our dreams, are things that are untouchables. The shadow side of Pisces is addictions, overdoing, these kinds of things, hiding, non-realism. And listen, Saturn's going to be moving into Pisces, and that's going to be its own little shit show of hard lessons and bursting our proverbial bubble balloons, whatever. But for right now, with Venus here, it's this week, and actually Venus is going to be here until February 19th. So it's these weeks, plural, of how can you get the most enjoyment out of your life? What does enjoyment mean to you? Do you have an easy time enjoying your life? I bet a lot of us haven't particularly been enjoying our lives 100% of the time as of late. So now it's how can you bring enjoyment in a healthy way? This is something that I really want to speak to this week, because also this week we have Mercury trining Uranus, which is our thoughts working together, because Mercury rules our thoughts, working together with big change. That's Uranus. So I think of the word breakthrough. I think of these big leaps and bounds that we can make in how we're seeing ourselves right now, how we're taking time for our pleasure. I almost feel like it's been so hard that we've been hoarding our rest time and our downtime. We've been hoarding it and using it not in a fun, good way. We've been tired. We've been grumpy. We've been overstimulated. Nothing is working all the time, all the way we want, right? And so it's this recalibration of, okay, listen, you can have fun without feeling guilty. You can take a nap without thinking that you're a terrible fill in the blank. It's a new relationship to where we take our ease and how we find beauty in the world right now. And that's so, so important. And that's really where I think a lot of breakthroughs can come in. I started watching Tony Robbins' Unshakable. He's doing a 5-day challenge because apparently I can't get enough of the 5-day challenges. And I really loved his perspective on breakthroughs because there's so much to be done once we make the breakthrough, but we have to get there first. We can't do something if we're not ready for the thing. It's the same thing with addicts. You can't expect an addict to change because you want them to, or you help them to do it, or you give them all the resources. It doesn't even have to go as deep as addiction. It can be like you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink mentality. Am I right? You can facilitate you can be the best mom. You can be the best partner. You can be the best daughter. You can fill in whatever for you. And you can't make someone happy. You truly can't. That's not our job. You can't satisfy someone. That's not our job. Our job is to make ourselves happy and to find satisfaction through our own doing. Imagine if we were all doing that for ourselves first. What healthy relationships we would all start cultivating if we took a little bit more accountability for what's wrong and why, and how we're our own worst enemies at enjoyment. And Venus is here to be like, but it's fun. But life should be beautiful. But life should be fun. We're given this one life. We're these crazy beings that live in these blood sac bodies, and we get to just experience this finite amount of time. And why are we so drawn to the darker sides of it? And listen, I am a Scorpio rising, okay? Darkness has its time and place, and I so love to explore those avenues. But it's about perspective too. We can't always dwell in what ails us. At some point, we can't just be a victim of our circumstance. At what point do we say, no, I came to this life, I get one life, I never know when it's going to end, and I want to enjoy it. So what does enjoyment mean to you? You can look in your chart and see where Pisces is to see where that's extra going to feel good to focus on. And that could mean a whole bunch of different things for all different people. So really it's about sitting with yourself, thinking about where you need some of that, and then filling that bucket. And Venus is going to help you. You don't even have to try. Venus is going to be here to do it for us. And so then today also the sun, our ego selves, is sextiling Jupiter. And I love that for us because there's some confidence here. Jupiter is the lucky planet, infusing into what is shining down on us right now. So we have this capability to see things from a different standpoint, to see ourselves, let's feel ourselves a little bit, okay? Instead of thinking about all of the things you need to get done today, I want you to think about all of the things you have done so far. I also want you to think of a little love note to yourself. What do you like about yourself right now? What did you like about yourself when you were younger? What are you doing with these parts of yourself that you like? Let's bring Venus in and have some more fun with how we can appreciate ourselves, because we're all unique. We're all individuals, and we're all here to supply the planet with something. And I'm not of the variety that thinks we're all special little snowflakes and we all deserve special attention or treatment. It's the opposite. We're all here. We're in the same game. We're in the same simulation. We're all here. So if you can see it that way, you are just a small part of this big, big world. So you are the one that needs to love you the most, because you're not special to us. You're only special to you. And if you value yourself that way and you see inside yourself what your unique talents are, what is unique about you, what are you good at, what does make you fiery and happy, what are the places and things you want to be and do in this life? Who are you right now? I think these are hard questions because COVID has really jacked us up on the who am I front. I think a lot of us took respite in a way that wasn't healthy. I think it was trauma-based respite, and now we don't know how to let go anymore. We don't know how to have this sacred space inside of ourselves that fills us up so that we have energy and juice to go forward in what is really necessary. See what card I got? It's all we see are these spilled cups here. All we see is our trauma and the work we had to do and how hard it's been. And listen, I don't blame you because I've been there too. It's just been so hard. There's just been so much to sort through. And if we don't stop and shift our perspective, if he doesn't stop and turn around and see what else there is, all we're going to get is more same. Who wants that? Technically, I do not. I know I've been doing that too. I have been on the couch. I've been watching TV. I have not been working out. I've been eating scones and muffins, carbohydrates. And I want to stop it. Not all the way, because I like those things. They make me happy. But I also know that there are other things that make me happy, that I can be exploring, that's going to lead to other things and new opportunities and new versions of myself that represent the parts of myself that I love. That's what I want. You know, as we're growing up, we forget that there are really things we loved about ourselves as kids and as, you know, young adults and as even adults. There are things that we have to bring, and we need to be our own cheerleaders and be like, you know what? I'm a badass bitch at this. You know what? I make sure this and this and this happens, and that makes me pretty awesome. You know what? I have a lot of compassion, and that makes me a good person. Like, can we just have like a little moment where we're loving on ourselves and being like, gosh, you know what? You know what? I want that for us this week. And that Jupiter sextiling the sun is going to give us the confidence to start digging ourselves, digging our vibe. Like, instead of saying, hey, my hair is too frizzy today, and I've been playing with it this whole video, to say, hey, I have frizzy hair and it's also going gray, and that's fine because this is me, you know, and I like me. And, you know, I have to say that a lot of times before I'll actually start believing it. And I know that about myself. But if I keep always looking at the fact that frizzy hair isn't attractive in this day and age, all I got to do is look back and be like, listen, in the 80s, killing it. Okay? It's perspective. It's just all about perspective. And sometimes we need a perspective shift. And that's what I really see this week as. Because then we also get that sun is going to be trining Mars this Sunday. So it's like all of that warrior energy, all of that like go-getter energy that was really stopped up when it was retrograde is now forward momentum. It is direct, and it is working with the sun. And so like, how lovely is that? The sun is working for us today, or this whole week really. And Mercury is working for us, and Uranus is working for us, and Mars and Venus. Look at all these planets that want us to just turn our shoulder, just turn your head, just a little bit, just look over your shoulder. And it's about what you're focusing on. You know, that vibe attracting your tribe business. Yeah, perspective matters. Where you're looking matters. If you're always just going to be looking at the dirty dishes in the sink, loads of them, you know, that's not going to make my life perspective very happy. But if I'm looking out my window, if I'm looking at my kitties, if I'm looking at, I don't know, today is my son's 9th birthday, if I'm thinking about my lovely little Declan, then it's so easy to find gratitude, to find peace, to find comfort. But it all gets bogged down by what we have to do. It gets bogged down by how we judge ourselves, by how we talk to ourselves on the inside, by how we judge ourselves on the inside. And it's like, if we can just let that rest, and if we can seek out the helpers, which is Mercury, our thoughts, Uranus, changing, moving, shifting, Mars, that cardinal energy to go, the sun shining down on us. You know, finally for us, we've had windstorms forever, and now it's sunshiny days for the, you know, next week or so. It's just all about where we're attuning. Where is your attention going? Where are you looking? You know, because the world is kind of fucked up. Like, spoiler alert, there's a lot of really horrible things going on all the time. And you can be focusing on that. Social media is really good at doing that. That's fine. But my invitation to you this week is there's so many helpers to look at the sunsets, to look at the lovely glass of wine on the table that you can drink from, that you can feel fortified from. It doesn't have to be wine, okay? It can be like tea or coffee or water or whatever. But just like start looking at the things that you do with reverence. Start looking at your bed sheets with reverence. Start enjoying your pillows from a godly state. You know, it's all about how we're choosing to enjoy the small comforts and things that we all get. And even if you don't get that many, there is something. There's always something. There's always somewhere to turn where there's a filled cup. And it's about where we're attuning ourselves going forward, because astrology, highs and lows, big things happening, small things happening. This is an opportunity to perspective shift, to have a breakthrough that will make you more sustainable going forward. Because the truth is, okay, a good week, whatever, it's a good week. But the problem with that is that we don't hold on to that feeling, it's weird how we really hold on to the hard feelings. But then the good feelings, it's like, oh, okay, well, there we are. We're just going to do that, la da 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 da. But then we don't change, mold ourselves and envision that goodness. We don't use it and work with it. It's like, how many of these public speakers are shaping themselves because of their pain? I mean, listen, I don't know a lot of public speakers that don't have a story of woe. And we're all supposed to have stories of woe. That's what makes us relatable. But what about our power stories too? I think those also make us relatable. And I think that we need to stop the glorification of pain porn. That's what it is. It's pain porn. Where we're just allowing pain to infuse inside of our bodies, and then we attach to it. Our victim story, our hurt story is what makes us us. And that's just not true. That's just a perspective. That's just something that we tell ourselves so that we'll feel tougher, so that we can get through hard times. But what if we can really define ourselves too by our greatest accomplishments and by how far we have come and by how in every single worst day you've ever had, you've always gotten through it. If we went into our life with that kind of confidence, that no matter what happens, tomorrow is going to come until it doesn't. And then how sad will it be if you didn't embrace the tomorrows and live presently? We're doing our tomorrow a disservice by not stacking up our today. Tomorrow doesn't matter if today didn't matter. What makes you think tomorrow there's going to be a shift? Well, there isn't until you start doing the shift today. Today is what matters. And Venus wants us to have fun. Venus wants us to find a way to have beauty and feel enriched in our lives right now. And you have all these other planets supporting big change inside of ourselves to start allowing the sunshine to be here, even in times when that's not as, holdable, graspable, there for us for the taking. It's all about perspective. It really is. And that card really nailed it, because it's interesting. You look at that card and it doesn't look like a very nice card to pull for a nice week. But it's listen, you get to choose. You always get to choose. We always get to choose how we're working with our stuff. And I'm not one of those people that thinks that pain doesn't have a place. I absolutely think that. But I do think that what is also equally important is to embrace when the pain eases and to start finding good things in that too. We don't always have to learn our biggest life lessons through hardship. We can also start seeing the ease-ship as something we want to manifest and draw to ourselves too. And it's about our perspective. It's about where we're looking. It's about where we're choosing to invest our hearts. Where you rest your love is where you rest your soul. So what do you want to invest in right now? Hopefully it's you. Because at the end of the day, all you have is yourself. Everybody else around you might spin out, but what if you were just okay? How interesting would that be if you were watching the world subtly collapse around you and yet you could stay sovereign and strong within yourself? Metaphorically and literally, when shit hits the fan, it's all about our reaction. It's not about the shit hitting the fan. It's about our reaction to it that creates the ripples and the waves that come back to us. What we throw out into the ocean eventually comes back. What we throw out into the world will come back and meet us. So if you haven't been feeling met, go inside and think about how you're meeting yourself and see what's manifesting around you, because there's so many good things that want to show themselves to us this week. So let's keep our eyes open. And even if times are hard, try to look over your shoulder a few times a day and go to bed thinking of at least one thing that made you feel really lovely that day. Because then if we can stay presently in that present moment of, but I really loved the taste of my morning coffee, that at least is setting you up for tomorrow to have a nice, good cup of coffee, because maybe you'll remember how you made it. And then once one thing good happens that you can consistently count on, more good things are around the bend. So I'm wishing you a wonderful week, so much support. Try to find the joy, the sunshine in your life, wherever it might be shining. And please like and subscribe to my page so I can keep making the videos, because I do so love it. And if you ever want to book a reading with me, please reach out and message Jasmine Lee Astrology. I am so here to help you understand yourself better. And instead of seeing your flaws as flaws, seeing them as what you came down here to do and to learn. I hope you guys have a beautiful week. Take care. Bye.